So is it safe to say the 19-week streak was blown because of you, or do I have to take the hit?
I'll take credit for it.
What do you mean credit?
Yeah, I'll take the blame.
That's more appropriate.
Yeah, I can bear the brunt of that. I'll have the weight on my shoulders.
So we had a perfect streak and then crashing down.
Yeah, I wanted everyone to get used to having me every week and then just leave them in the dust. That's pretty much every relationship I've ever had too. Like, you can count on me, and then I just don't come through. And then you should probably feel dumb for trusting me.
So you were ghosting before it was cool?
You knew what you were getting into with this podcast.
Ah,
I was completely honest from day one about what we're doing here.
I've never been on this side. Well, granted, I've never been on either side. This hurts. Doesn't feel good. Man. No, you're not. You just explained how you weren't sorry.
Yeah, you should be sorry for trusting me. Don't trust me.
This is really your problem, idiot.
But yeah, sorry about that, guys. We blew it at week 20. There was some stuff for both of us we had going on, and one of my Danish friends was in town for the week, and it was pretty insane, and we just, schedule-wise, couldn't get it. We do have a few episodes in the can, but they aren't ones that I felt comfortable airing because, like, I stuttered once.
You can't break the fourth wall. This is all production stuff, man. God.
Yeah, I know people probably think that my first take is always perfect and that my art is flawless, which is mostly true. But sometimes I want to humanize myself so everyone else doesn't have to feel like they have to try and be so perfect.
So you can be relatable?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not, though. But as much as possible, yeah.
You drive a Ford Escape.
The 2012.
It's a weird flex.
Yeah. Did I tell you a thing I said on the Our Speaker podcast about that?
God, no. But are we about done with that?
One of the quick questions I asked was, "What's the first thing you'd buy with $1 million or whatever?" And I was like, "A car with under 100,000 miles." And the host lost it. On one of the other episodes, he said to somebody that was like his favorite response to that question because it was just so like non-flashy.
So not only were you on it, you also listened to it?
Of course I listened to it. Oh, I wanted to be prepared, and I just like hearing about Indianapolis artists because I'm an artist, Pete.
Such a suck-up.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I will be live on Art Speak Presents August 8th in person. You can come see it at the Harrison Center. Everyone should. Do you want to hear me talk about my art in person, Pete, for an hour?
So, speaking of breaking the fourth wall,
yeah. Presently,
Jake has one black eye.
Totally do.
I'm contemplating giving him a second and just saying, I just evened it out, brah. You can't be mad.
This is the coolest black eye I've ever had because I took a headbutt and my eye kind of swole shut on Saturday night, but it didn't turn colors. Then as I was driving home, 7 hours into my drive, I looked at it in the mirror and it was like a rainbow. It was legitimately green, yellow, and blue, bright blue, like sky, vibrant blue. And then I slept for a little while Sunday when I got home at like 8:30. At like 2 p.m., all of a sudden my eye was just black. Like legitimately eyeliner dark black. It looks like I have makeup on right now. Does it not?
I mean, it does, but you also kind of routinely wear makeup.
Yeah, and I haven't worn my eyeliner in so long. Tomorrow I'm going to have to eyeliner the crap out of my right eye to try and even it out. Because I got a big thing in the afternoon, but I can't talk about it.
I can't disclose the terms of my non-disclosure.
Yeah, I can't disclose the terms of the contract I was just offered.
I don't know how to avoid this because you'll find a way to circle back around like 8 or 10 times.
Yeah.
But where were we going? Oh, yeah.
Why I was busy last week, yeah.
Was it a friend from Japan?
It wasn't Hino, if that's the question you're asking. That's the only friend of mine from Japan you care about.
That's mostly true. I was going to try and argue that.
Yeah, name one other Japanese friend I have. And I've mentioned several on the podcast.
I know. It's just that, let's be honest. It's because the names, it's not like John or Steve or anything like that. And I don't know how that doesn't come off as racist. Except
it is.
I mean, right? There was the guy that you lost the fanny pack with on the train. And then there was the guy that you sang Sinatra with. Like, I know that there are people. And then there was the guy who took you to get it. Yeah, your man purse was
These
there.
are 3 different people, yeah.
So, I mean, I know of these people.
Yeah, Seikine Sanada and Yamada.
Yamada, I think I will remember.
But yeah, no. So last week, one of my friends from Denmark came to town. So, yeah, Nitro Green, he's the man. I saw him have an awesome match in Denmark when I was there a couple months ago, and we just became buddies and hit it off that day. And then I told a few people at the show, I was like, oh, hey, if you ever get a chance to come to the States, crash with me. I'll get you on shows. He's the first guy who took me up on it.
Did you bond over pastries while you were in Denmark?
We didn't, because I know this is going to break your heart, but I even asked him here. They don't really have donuts there.
You know, it's like he has to play the stereotype down. I get it. He doesn't want you to know that secretly, like, he touches himself while eating donuts. I mean,
the Danish only have Danish.
Whatever.
They don't want to disrespect themselves, forget where they came from.
You know there's at least...
I haven't forgotten where I come from.
You know there's at least a Krispy Kreme over there. Don't lie.
I think he said there were one or two, maybe.
Trying to downplay it.
Hey, I'm not from there. I've spent a large amount of time there, though. I'm so well traveled. So, but my friend friend stayed with me. I got him Monday night. And then...
I got him Monday night. I picked him up from the store on Monday
night. And then... we had a couple of days of me showing him around Indy, and then we had 4 shows in 3 days, and then I ended up leaving him in Wisconsin where he'll be for the next few weeks. And
Does he know he's going to get fat? He's going to have to sustain on beer and cheese?
Well, luckily he came to the States 5 years ago and stayed for like a year-ish in Wisconsin. So one of the things he'd ask me when he first got to Indy was, hey, like, Wisconsin's known for like beer and cheese. What's Indy known for? And I was like, well... food-wise, I don't know.
Tenderloin, dog. Come on.
Yeah, actually, I think someone did bring that up and eventually brought that up. And I was like, oh, yeah, that is a thing. But yeah, I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head. I could think of other stuff. I could think of like Peyton Manning and IndyCar racing. That's about it.
Did you introduce him to Peyton Manning and take him around the track?
Yeah, some of that. Yeah, so Tuesday night, we went ahead and, and this is also like a story about just how crazy my weeks can be. So everyone knows the rock star lifestyle. So I had to work at a gym every single one of these days too. And then so Tuesday night, we went ahead. I took him to downtown Indy. Actually, like afternoon, we went downtown Indy, walked pretty much all around downtown Indy, did like around the canal stuff, like got to see the Capitol buildings and the monument.
Did you hold hands?
No, it was very romantic. I did show him the horse and buggy things. And I was like, that's the thing I've always meant to do with somebody and just never have.
Was it impressive to him? Because isn't that kind of their primary mode of transportation back home?
Horse and buggy?
Yeah.
No, bicycles. Dangerous bicycles. I think I told you about the bicycle line, right? The Danish punk rock proverb.
I know nothing about this.
I'm pretty sure it was when I was talking about my friend Sean the Freak.
Oh, I know of Sean.
Yeah.
Who's been in every band ever.
Yeah, so he's a punk rock and he fights fascists. And he said an old 80s Danish punk rock motto was, I fear not the fascist or the cops, only the bicycles. And that's to embody how dangerous bicycles are in Denmark, because they're everywhere and they come in packs and they're speeding super fast and they will murder you. They will run you. A group of bikers will run you down. It's the highest per capita bike usage in the world.
And it's not motorcycles. These are bicycles.
These are bicycles. Yeah, these are bicycles.
I don't think I've ever been afraid of a bicyclist in my life.
Yeah, you've never been to Denmark.
That's true.
I hear Amsterdam's pretty bad too, because people care about the environment.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid.
Yeah, you better believe there were a couple things that came up this weekend where I was like, yeah, we don't recycle like that. Like, yeah, we don't do this like that. Yeah, we don't care. I feel shame.
I hope it didn't ruin the romance. So you guys are, take me there hand in hand walking down the sea anal. And,
yeah. So yeah, we did all that stuff. And I love Indy. And if you haven't ever been downtown Indy, there's all sorts of really cool stuff to see. It just doesn't sound cool necessarily. Like, you walk up and down the canal, you see all the museums. There's a bunch of bad art down there. You
just need a hype man. Somebody who's genuinely entertained by it, or somebody who's at least upbeat about it. Then it's a good time.
For sure. And like, there's so many memorials and all that stuff looks awesome. Like, the circle's awesome. There's so many great places to go. I want to take a legit tour of Indianapolis at some point, just because there's so much stuff I'm sure I don't know.
You ever been to the catacombs?
I haven't, but I've heard it's great. Yeah, City Market. Yeah, it's one of those things I've heard about a bunch of times, never went. So like things like that, super cool. But then one of the big things was I took him to see Lucas Oil Stadium, and I guess one of his best friends is actually a gigantic Colts fan. So he was super pumped about that. And then, of course, there's a lot of painting around downtown on walls and stuff that's Colts related. And then we took a picture together in front of the Peyton Manning statue, and I got to profess my love for Peyton Manning and how he pretty much built our city from the ground up, like, which is completely true, not sarcastic at all.
Bob Knight and then Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
See, Bob Knight didn't like fully fund our children's hospital and get us a new stadium, which got us a Super Bowl, which got us every convention ever that comes through America.
Save for Gen Con, because nerds don't care. But other than that, I really can't argue.
There's so many nerd cons every year here. And you know what? We can thank Peyton Manning for helping out with that.
I don't think the cons come through because of Peyton.
No, for real, though. I'm dead serious. This is a reason. He built up the city so much the Super Bowl came to town, which built up the infrastructure for the entire city. Everyone realized it was a walkable, relatable place. Everyone can easily access for our awesome interstate highway system, which you can actually attribute all this to Peyton Manning. You can Google it all you want. This is like, these are facts.
I really want to. All right, this is taking far too long. I hate this. The first year Gen Con was in Indy, established in 1968. I don't care. Whatever.
Well, Peyton was drafted in 98, and that changed the game for Indianapolis.
Fine.
Remember when we grew up? Indy was a dump. You know what it's not now? It's the opposite. It's not a dump now.
What is the opposite of not a dump? There should be a word. Anyway.
Elegant.
It's elegant. And the pastry boy, was he impressed?
Yeah, so yeah, my Danish friend loved Indy, all that stuff. Then we did like a quick run through Broad Ripple. He got to have Chipotle for the first time. That's pretty sweet. Yeah.
There's a nice Cuban spot there. I mean, there's plenty of spots to eat around there.
I've never been to the Cuban spot.
What?
Yeah, I haven't. It looks great, though.
Bruh. Worth it. But you took him to Chipotle.
Yeah.
Chipotle's live.
Well, and he did even ask when we went past Hopcat, it said like best burger in town or best fries in town or whatever.
That's a lie.
Yeah, and he was like, oh man, is that the place we should go? I was like, no, they're lying. That's not the best fries in town. Crack fries aren't great.
Nah.
Overrated. So I don't know if the Cuban place is worth a shot.
I mean, you're not going to get fries there. You're going to get a Cuban sandwich and a Cuban coffee. And if you don't, you're just wrong.
Okay.
You'd kill it.
Yeah, I'll try and get that this week. And I'll let you know. We can go eat it together. If you want to hold hands and walk around Broad Ripple.
Can we see the canal?
If you want to. Sure. We can stop by the Idle Jorg. My uncle runs it.
What?
Yeah. My uncle runs the Idle Jorg. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took one of my exes there one time. She didn't enjoy it, though, because it's not a very exciting museum. I think it's really cool, but it's not a super exciting museum.
If it isn't the Children's Museum, I'm just not interested.
He used to be a higher up at the Children's Museum, and he left to take the president job at the Idle Jorg.
That's real awesome.
That being said, it would have been really sweet if he was still at the Children's Museum.
We could play in the water. There's the big pendulum clock.
Yeah.
Planetarium.
There's some sweet badass dinosaur exhibit right now, I think. There always is.
How did we move from your romantic walk on the canal? It's a
beautiful
beautiful transition. No,
anyway, that was our Tuesday night. A lot of fun. Wednesday night, we went ahead. I took him to Kuma's, which is my favorite burger joint. I think that is the best burger in town. Maybe the best fries in town.
Even if you think there's a better prepared this, that, or whatever, I don't think they can be beaten by way of creativity or anything else. I mean, they do stuff that's just fun.
Yeah. So at Kuma's Corner in Fountain Square, if you haven't been there, you have to go. And one or two listeners listening to this totally have tried to go and haven't. And I'm very disappointed in them. You know who you are.
What do you mean tried to go?
One of my friends, when she went downtown to run like one of the marathons, the mini, they were going to go afterward. But of course, that was a day where everyone decided to go to Kuma's.
Oh, okay. I guess I could see that. It's not like there's usually a line. Usually the normies are deterred by the metal.
Yeah, pretty much. Their burgers are awesome, creative. I love their fries. Luckily, he loved their fries too. Then we moved to the White Rabbit afterward, my favorite place in town, bar-wise. That show ended up actually being the best show to take a foreigner to, because I didn't realize it was going to be like almost all spoken word poetry, and a lot of it was just heavy spoken word poetry, and that's like not great to take someone whose second language is English.
He just didn't know how to snap, did he? Like he couldn't show his appreciation to the poets.
Yeah, there was some snapping. But so that was our Wednesday. Then Thursday began our 4 shows in 3 days trek. We went down to Jeffersonville Thursday night. It was 105 in the building we wrestled in.
Inside?
105 inside. The canvas was vinyl. It was like a slip and slide.
Ugh.
Yeah, luckily he was on first. He wrestled this kid who looked scared of his own shadow. This little tiny kid. I swear, what's the animal if you shock it, it can die?
Oh, I know that there are fainting goats, but I don't think they die.
Okay, this kid looked like a fainting goat. But there is some animal, if you shock it, it will have like, you can go boo, and it can have a heart attack and die.
Huh.
It's some feeble little animal.
I don't know. Like I said, I know fainting goats just pass, like that's their defense mechanism. They stiffen up and fall right over.
Yeah. But there's an animal that died. So that's pretty much who Nitro wrestled, was this kid. They had a really good match. I had an awesome match. Super intense match with this big country boy, Larry D. That's where I pretty much lost my voice just from like making so much noise. And then we got out of there, got home at 3:30, crashed. I had to get up at 4:30 to do some stuff in the morning. Then we hit the road, went up to Warsaw, where we were supposed to have a singles match, but it ended up being a 3-way, then a 4-way, then a 5-way, then a 6-way.
So it was 6 times more awesome. That's the only thing that could mean.
That is dumb promoter logic 101. It really is. They're just like, you know what? This match is going to be great. You know, it'd be even greater. Add another great person. It doesn't work that way. There's a diminishing return here.
What's the number where it just falls right off? Like
3. The second you add one more person than 2, the match will not be good.
Say for a tag match, because still just two
yeah,
people
a tag
in the ring?
match is fine. A tag team match is fine. But even then, you're adding extra things that can go wrong and will go wrong.
So if I throw in like tables or ladders or chairs?
In a singles match capacity, that's fine. It can be done well. Yeah.
What about a briefcase?
That's fine. That can be done well. In theory. Just don't make it 3 people in one match, or 4 people, or 5 people, or 6 people, please. And thank you.
Preemptively, future Jake Oman says thanks.
Yeah. We did stop in Mexico, Indiana on the way. So he throw on his mask, I throw on my mask, and we took a picture in front of the Mexico sign. I will throw that up online later. Because you know the Mexico sign off I-31?
I don't.
Okay, yeah. So it's this big sign that just says Mexico with an arrow, and it looks like it's super old and run down. So it looks like this is a sign for legitimate Mexico, the country.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's great. I'll show it to you.
How far away is that?
Maybe an hour north.
Dude, worth it.
Yeah, it's worth a drive. Yeah, it's not. I feel like it's in between Peru and Rochester.
Right
Yeah,
on.
Mexico, Indiana. So we took a picture in front of that. I tried to convince him he should post it up as if he's in Mexico City to like flex to all his people, all his friends in Europe. But he still said Indiana when he put the picture up. Yeah, I get it.
What a stooge.
He's new to the game, the international travel game. We did the show. We had a 6-way and went so much better than it should have. It was great. The fans were awesome. I actually really liked it. Crashed with a buddy that night. Got up super early because we had a show in Decatur, Indiana, like a little past Fort Wayne on Saturday morning. I had an okay match in the morning. It was outside again at a fair. It was so hot. It was like 90 something.
Was it the county fair?
I don't think so.
Well, why would you even show up? County fair or no fair?
Sure. Is it something? Downtown Decatur fair. Anyway, we had the first 2 matches, and then we had to get in the car and like speed 6.5 hours to Kiel, Wisconsin, like close to Green Bay, to just try and make it to the show on time. But we didn't hit much traffic in Chicago. That was sweet. We're also traveling in gear, and his face is painted. Like, so he's got some smudged face paint on the whole time. I got boots on the whole time. Eventually in Wisconsin, we hit a Qdoba, and he had to go in wearing that. He'd never had it before.
That's like Chipotle. It's the same thing.
They have queso, though, and a wheat option on the burrito.
What is wrong with you? Like, why do you know so much about bull crap? Taco Bell, I would
These
respect.
are the only, because these are the healthy options. Qdoba and Chipotle are like the healthier options.
Yeah, but Taco Bell's so much cheaper.
Yeah, and there's part of me that would be tempted to get that on the road more. But Qdoba my friend is with me, so I have to act like I'm not frugal. Also, Qdoba is delicious.
Did you go full fat Coke?
I haven't drank a Coke since I was 16, Pete. Don't spread that rumor. I haven't drank a Coke or played a video game since I was 16.
What?
Yeah.
I'm going to argue this later, but proceed.
So you can try. There were in the bathroom at Qdoba, there were Mexican wrestling masks and posters all over the place. That was cool. I don't know if that's a Qdoba thing.
I don't know. I don't go to Qdoba.
Yeah, well, you should. And then we got to the show, and we actually were an hour off on bell time, so we actually got there kind of early-ish. So that was cool.
When you showed up, what was in your hands?
Oh, yeah, what did I take inside? I had a gallon jug of water. I had my roller bag, and I had my backpack, which had my merchandise in it and another change of clothes. Yep. I had my gear on. So in my roller bag was actually my street clothes that I changed out of in the morning. I didn't have a coffee cup.
But you did have a hand free for shaking.
I mean, I had my water jug in my hand, and then I switched it to the other hand to shake people's hand, yes.
You're always on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also showed up, first time I've ever been to this show, and I was in the main event. So it's like they knew I was coming.
What if you weren't until you showed up and did that maneuver there and like, oh, dude, this guy. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I actually didn't see if it was written out on the dry erase board before. Like, I guess I'd been there for like 30 or 40 minutes before I saw it. They might have written it afterward. I could have been match number 2 and like losing to Joe Schmo.
Yeah, you got promoted from Jabron pretty quickly.
And then I walked in. I also had my sleeveless, like hooded shirt on that says gym real huge. It makes me look so jacked. And I had a backpack on, snapped in the front. So if anything, it just accentuated my muscles more.
You walked in there looking like Ryan Epic, don't lie.
I walked in there looking like such a douchebag.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, I didn't disagree. Ryan Epic was in our 6-way.
Of course he was.
Yeah, he was in our 6-way. I'm just super glad he was. I love working with Ryan Epic. He's let us stay at his house too. We stayed at his house. It's so cold. He keeps his house like 60 some degrees, like 62.
Oh, you mean literally? Like the climate is cool.
Yeah, he keeps his house freezing, which is fine because he has a lot of blankets. He's got a really nice place. So we we did that. He had a match that was super awesome. I had a match that was super awesome. I took a headbutt to the face that ended my life and gave me this great black eye. The day before I signed my contract.
Did you bleed?
No, I didn't bleed. It swelled up really fast. And right after it hit me, it's like, oh no. And it felt warm. So I kept tapping it. And the only thing in my mind was, please no stitches. Because I was like, man, because I assumed it was going to be bleeding. Because it was a vicious headbutt. And I was like, oh no. It's like, bleeding's okay, but please no stitches. It was right on the brow. And that's usually Stitch City. I was like, dang it, please no stitches. And I just kept poking it the whole time. And eventually my eyes started swelling closed. But it didn't bleed. Didn't break. No stitches. So Joey Jet Avalon and I had a match for the Gravel Pit Championship. It was fantastic at the Gravel Pit in Kiel, Wisconsin.
Did you get that hardware?
I didn't. I decided that he probably needed it a lot more than I did. And I'm sick and tired of having to carry around 20-pound belts in my gear bag, I go through customs a lot. Oh, I should also mention Saturday morning, I had the championship at that other company in Indiana, and I lost it. I lost 4 matches this weekend. 4 out of 4.
You're in a real big slump right now, aren't you?
Yeah, but one kid came up to me after the 6-way and was like, I was rooting for you, but you lost. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't get pinned. I was like, at worst, I had a draw.
You didn't want to lose that young man's respect.
Yeah, I was like, at worst, it was a draw. Well, he already looked at me with disdain. And so I shot disrespect straight back to him. I was like, yeah, you're going to draw every single day of your life, kid. And at least I've had a few W's.
That would be truly great to me. Because I know you as a person outside. Not never. I rarely see you act that way to people. Mm-hmm. So it'd be hilarious to just see you treat a fan like that, because I've never seen that in my life.
You want to know the funny part about it? I was a good guy at the show. I was a good guy. That was the only show I was... No. Yeah, I was a good guy twice this weekend, a bad guy twice this weekend. I was a good guy at that show. Yep.
Nice. Kid had it coming, though. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Thursday, of course, I used the woman in the wheelchair as a distraction, too, to get the one up. And a bottle of mustard. That helped me stop my opponent, too.
Bottle of mustard?
Yeah, I just threw it up in the air, like close to his face. I was like, hey, catch this. And then he caught it and I hit him in the stomach.
Wouldn't ketchup make more sense?
We were walking past the concessions table and it was the closest thing I could grab.
I wouldn't relish in that.
Nice. So yeah, we made towns all weekend, man. We did, I estimated the hundreds of miles of driving, and it was like, 1,400 miles of driving, like 27 hours in the car. We had our awesome matches, and then we didn't have to like necessarily speed or anything, but we had to like get back to Milwaukee as fast as we could so we could catch a late bus over to Madison and meet some other people to stay for a few weeks in Wisconsin.
Did he have an international driver's license?
Yeah, he did, thankfully, because he did have to drive at a couple points because I was so tired.
Oh, that ruins my whole line of questioning about, was he a respectful passenger, or did he hop in, hit the recline, and just doze?
He was a great passenger, and he told me, so I didn't know him really before I met him in Denmark. However, I was buddies with his trainer, who's this like grizzled old veteran dude from Denmark named Chaos. He's the man. And Nitro kept telling me, like, every time he was on the road with Chaos pretty much like put the fear of God in him. Like, you drive, you never fall asleep. Even if you're the passenger, you never fall asleep. Like, so now apparently my buddy has trouble falling asleep in the car at all because he's so scared to death of falling asleep in the car. So he's a great passenger. Except at one point I was actually like, hey man, you look a little tired. Go ahead and catch a nap. And he did that. But then he returned the favor too. So, which is great because there were a few points this weekend I was so tired because he got to sleep in a few days, but I didn't. I was up at like 4:30 every day. Yeah, we ended up getting him on a bus, and he got over to like back to his buddies in Wisconsin. That's about us making towns. He also instilled so much Danish wisdom on me, and for the life of me, I'm trying to remember some of the other things he said. Like, we were talking about how sexuality is viewed here and sexual expressions viewed in Europe, because I don't know if you're aware, but huge difference.
Nah, man. Nah.
Huge difference. But he was talking about the double standard, and I won't go in depth. I'll just say the phrase and people can take out of it what they want. But he said a Danish saying is, if a key can open a lot of locks, it's a good key. If a lock can be opened by a lot of keys, it's a really shitty lock. And I just thought that's great. So wise.
So wise.
So wise. Oh, and he also told me that there was Danish Hulk Hogan. And he told me all about how this dude made his career as Danish Hulk Hogan. And we have a picture of him pulled up right here. And he looks awesome. His name is Asbjorn Ries. So you should totally Google Danish Hulk Hogan if you want to see a good time.
I would like to see a singles match between him and the Hulkster.
Yeah, I'd like to know if Asbjorn can still bring it. Because there's some pictures of him up here. And even though he looks super old, he looks super jacked. Probably in better shape than regular Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely. I mean, even with the giant weird beard, I mean, he looks like he's Norwegian, not Danish. I don't know if he donut munches.
I know to you they're the same thing.
Pretty much.
Well, to me they're not, because I've spent such extensive time in each.
Is that Chris Christopherson looking guy also him? Up above the Hulk Hogan in the crown. One up, the black and white photo. Sir, you're going down. You need to go north. You're headed south. North. And yep, right there. Is that him?
Yeah. It looks like it, just with hair.
Wow, he looks real old and beat down right there.
He looks great in that picture.
He looks like he should...
The fans don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to post it on the social media. I'll put this exact picture of Asbjorn Ries on OffTheCliffPod Instagram at some point in the next day or two, so everyone can know. Pay respects to Asbjorn Ries Day. I'm trying to think of some of the other really sweet things he told me, but they're slipping my mind right now. But there were some great words of wisdom.
Oh man, that sounds like some heat for promotional posts. Just nothing but quotes and like Danish proverb. I'm sure none of them are actually proverbs, but people aren't going to know that. Yeah,
I also feel like I would like to make some of that stuff up just to tell people when I'm traveling. They're like, oh, wow, that's really a thing.
But, you know, it's funny. I've done this before with my own podcast. I've posted stuff online and people are like, that's not a thing. Well, sure it is. And you scroll down and then you post up some Instagram thing that looks kind of legit. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, it's right there. Oh, no way.
Nice.
What do they know?
Well played. That's exactly the type of thing I would do.
Feel free, man.
Thanks, man. I'll do that. Yeah. If I can think of any other cool stuff that came to me, I'll let everyone know. So thanks everyone for dealing with my voice and dealing with us making this grievous error in posting last week. And you should probably look up my buddy Nitro Green on all the social medias. He's the man. I'm glad I got to spend a week with him and just like pay it forward a little bit. He just kept telling me at the end of the week, he's like, now, if you come to Denmark, like I have to take you around everywhere and have you do everything.
Before I didn't care, but now that you've done it,
yeah,
I'm in your debt.
Oh, he also, I need to get a hold of him because he told me he would give this link to me that's super important. So the guy I wrestled in Denmark a couple months ago, this dude named Carlos, who I really liked too, he was awesome. Apparently he got known in Denmark for being on this reality show. And he's like a really like ripped up, good looking guy. He looks like a complete douchebag.
Like The Situation?
Pretty much
the Danish Situation?
This is the Danish Situation. That's who I wrestled. And he's also an MMA fighter. And I think he also might be a model because he should be. But he looks like a guy you would never get along with or hang out with. But he got known for being on this show called Paradise Hotel. And Nitro told me that he has a link to this. And ever since I met Carlos and hung out with him, like I said, cool guy. I want to know, like, oh man, I have to see him on this show. And apparently he was like kind of cashed to be the douche. And I was like, man, that sounds awesome. So I can't wait to hit him up and see the link to Danish Paradise Hotel. I hope they're English subtitles.
They don't speak English there?
They speak Danish.
The language of donut?
All right. At OffTheCliffPod. At Multimedia Hustle is Pete. At Jake Oman 2012 is me. I should have looked up my buddy's stuff. But we'll link it anyway. And we will catch you next week.